these things have been fulfilled. These ones specifically that we're talking about, and there's one more that we're going to mention, that is the falling of the stars.
That's in November of 1833.
And this is written about by presidents, and this is just so widely known, and it was like an American historical event that everybody knew of. Maybe not so much now because it's a while ago, but Lincoln spoke about this. He wrote about seeing this event, and it was quite something to see.
It caused great religious revival and interest in end-time events, because as they had been reflecting on, first comes this earthquake, then comes this dark day, then the moon turns to blood, and now the falling of the stars, it seems to indicate that Jesus' coming would be soon, and this is what they believed.
Yeah, it's so widely known that the stars didn't fall to the earth and this didn't fulfill Bible prophecy. Like we saw in the Advent Review article previously, this event supposedly, according to them, also fulfills Revelation 6:13 and Matthew 24:29. Now notice the June 13, 1935 issue of the same paper and what they claim. Quote, "The stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind." Folks, again, the fig tree represented Israel. Revelation 6:13. This prophetic picture was enacted in the heavens on the night of November 13, 1833. The Greek word used here for stars, frequently used in classical Greek as meteor, the greatest meteoric shower of which there is any record, took place in 1833. As the numberless meteors struck the Earth's atmosphere on the night of November 13, they blazed into a display of celestial fireworks beyond adequate description. Close quote. Again, this isn't stated independently of confirmation from God through Ellen White, which is where it's actually coming from. It's not what Revelation and Matthew are actually pointing to. It's coming from the Great Controversy. Notice, quote, "In 1833, 2 years after Miller," talking about William Miller, "began to present in public the evidences of Christ's soon coming, the last of the signs appeared which were promised by the Savior as tokens of his second advent. Said Jesus, the star shall fall from heaven," Matthew 24:29. "And John in the Revelation declared, as he beheld in vision the scenes that herald the day of God, the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind." This prophecy received a striking and impressive fulfillment in the great meteoric shower of November 13, 1833. That was the most extensive and wonderful display of falling stars which has ever been recorded. Close quote. Remember that. Greatest ever recorded. Yeah, except for one problem. No, it isn't. And meteors are not stars, folks. The term falling star is a slang term, but stars are not meteors. And even if they want to appeal to the Greek, which they did, that the word aster can mean meteor or meteorite, again, Jesus is not talking about November 13 in the 19th century. This is just asserted as fact because Ellen White said it. Well, so that was God speaking, and that must be what the text is saying, right? Meanwhile, again, Ted Wilson says the only approved hermeneutic in the SDA Church is the historical grammatical method. Well, let's see. I would love to see it. Let's see somebody from the SDA Church utilize the HGM and walk us through the text, and let's see how Jesus' original audience understood him to be talking about November 13, 1833. They can't. So they'll just say, well, it's a double fulfillment. So that leaves the door open for them to just plug and play with whatever they need to. But notice how NASA defines a meteor. A meteor is a meteoroid that comes close enough to Earth and enters Earth's atmosphere, then vaporizes and turns into a meteor, a streak of light in the sky. Because of their appearance, these streaks of light are sometimes called shooting stars, but meteors are not actually stars. Close quote. Well, like I said, Adventists are going to stick to their guns, of course, and assert, well, that Greek word can mean meteor or asteroid, not only stars. Well, okay. Remember, what did they say? It was the greatest event of this ever. 1833 was the greatest of this ever. Yeah, well, it was discovered in 1866 what caused this event, which is now known as the 1833 Leonid meteor shower, and it was the result of a comet. Two scientists, Ernst Temple and Horace Tuttle, discovered in 1866 that a comet was what caused this event to take place, with the comet being nicknamed Comet 55P Temple Tuttle after their names. They discovered that this comet passes the Earth approximately every 33 years, which means what happened in 1833 wasn't unique or new. In fact, here's a documented list of it passing the Earth all the way back to 902 AD, folks. 902 AD. Look at all these. I mean, they talk about it right here, the exact image that they were using on there. Again, go to our website, type in November 13 in the search bar, and this article will pop up. You can also see there's a hyperlink text that says documented list. Click on that, and it will literally take you through countless more. This was happening well before 1833. Again, how does any of this have to do with April 8? But yeah, fellas, not quite the greatest falling of the stars in history. Once again, God showed this to Ellen White, though. She just couldn't get it right. So it's God's fault, apparently. Doesn't matter if you want to argue the Greek grammar. The Leonid meteor shower was not an anomaly in 1833. It happened multiple times prior to then. He said religious revival broke out because of this and caused them to believe Jesus was returning soon. Again, every single one of those individuals were closer to their death than the return of Christ. Doesn't matter that they genuinely believed this. Lots of people genuinely believe all sorts of things. Doesn't make it true. The Leonid meteor shower had absolutely nothing to do with Bible prophecy, and it didn't uniquely happen one time on that date. Absolutely none of this has anything to do with April 8, 2024. This was an opportunity for them to cash in on all the searches and hop on the gravy train to try and then talk about all the standard SDA folklore and recycle the same claims over and over and over, using this most recent event as the front for that. If you're an Adventist or even a Christian that falls prey to this stuff, I encourage you, please reconsider falling every time new things like this pop up. Utilize your God-given critical thinking faculties and don't fall for these grifters.